Margaret Downey is the founder of Freethought Society of Greater Philadelphia and the Anti-Discrimination Support Network. She's also editor and publisher of a newsletter for the Freethought Society of Greater Philadelphia, and she's a board member for various organizations, and I'm not going to spend the day listing all of them, but they include the Freedom from Religion Foundation and the Humanist Institute. Margaret is a secular humanist celebrant and performs secular wedding and funeral ceremonies. And her talk today is called Celebrating Life the Secular Way. Thank you.
Well, at least I don't have to follow Richard Dawkins. Good afternoon, everyone. I had a wonderful meal. I'm sure everybody did, too, because it was delicious food. Thanks to the organizers for putting that together. And I'm so happy to be here in the land of fire and ice. My presentation, Celebrating Life the Secular Way, will highlight many ways in which non-religious people can celebrate holidays and special occasions. I also want to impress upon you the importance of living life openly and proudly as an atheist. Some of us are more fearful of being an atheist than others, and that fear of disclosure revolves around the unacceptance of a non-religious life stance by a majority of people. Since I'm not a resident of Iceland, I can't speak for the levels of intolerance here, but in America, we atheists are struggling. Our very presence frightens the religious community because we make them wonder and question about their own blind faith. We make them uneasy about their commitment to a story filled with superstitions and implausible details. And our presence defies their obedience to scriptural laws that seem antiquated in the modern society. Disclosure of our philosophical life stance is usually met with hostility and combative reactions, and this is probably why atheists are compelled to remain silent. An unfriendly environment sometimes prevails in the workplace, in schools, in the community, and yes, even within the family dynamics. Secularists are often outnumbered, overruled, or belittled when their minority opinion is expressed. When we live our lives as proud atheists, we may suffer severe consequences. In a worst-case scenario, shunning campaigns take place, jobs are lost, family members are disowned, and marriages break up. Intolerance can prevail, all in the name of religion. Today, I want to talk about the positive outcomes of exemplifying a secular life stance. Through our actions, we can inspire and encourage others who are having difficulties declaring their philosophical life stance. And I hope that after my presentation today, that you will be able to say, I am an atheist and I'm proud of it. So, you may wonder how you can live your life as a proud atheist. First, you must make a commitment to yourself that you will not hide or feel ashamed of your chosen life stance. You have made an intellectual decision that brings you peace of mind, and that alone should make you very proud. Yes, it is difficult to disclose your feelings in a public way, but if you do not hide your chosen philosophy, you actually may find others who are just like you. They might be quiet simply because they think that they are the only atheist around. Disclosure of your philosophy also provides an opportunity to find common ground in which the religious and the non-religious can negotiate a more comfortable environment for each one involved. And chances are the religious community will discover philosophical similarities to the non-religious community. For instance, donating to worthy causes feeding the hungry, adoptions of needy families. And there's so much more you can do, and these are all activities that can bring all types of people together to work on these issues. On the other hand, popular celebrations can bring to the forefront major differences between the religious and the non-religious. Atheists do not attend regularly to religious services, but we might be asked to do so by very well-meaning people with whom we come in contact with, say at work or at school, in our neighborhood, and in our own families. If you're not comfortable attending religious events, make use of that invitation that you might get to explain why you do not wish to participate, and look upon the encounter as a way to educate someone. Tell them what the season means to you and how you celebrate it differently. And you might say, I don't celebrate Christmas, but I acknowledge the season and I celebrate in other ways. And this type of conversation is non-confrontational, it's educational, and it allows atheists to reach a better understanding with our religious friends and family. And each of you should think about common holidays and try to develop new and more meaningful ceremonies that can benefit all of you in a certain way and exemplify what your life stance is. For example, during spring or winter, you may choose to simply celebrate the beauty of nature and the changing of the seasons. Seasonal celebrations establish kinship bonds and help establish fictitious kin connections with our friends. You may just want to take the opportunity to recognize the warmth of your family's love during that time of year. Normal activities are put on hold by these seasonal holidays, and for a day or two, we can suspend these everyday duties. And most of us like that type of celebration, I think. So please consider a new winter humanist celebration called Human Light. Human Light is the humanist counterpart to Christmas and other holidays. Human Light is celebrated on December 23rd. It was established in the year 2001 by the New Jersey Humanist Network. Human Light is a secular celebration that emphasizes reason and critical thinking. The date of December 3rd allows Human Light to connect itself to the December holiday season without imposing itself over other holidays. And many humanists may participate in a variety of celebrations with their family and friends, so we wanted to keep that open. Human Light events can include guest speakers, candle lighting ceremonies, musical presentations, drama presentations, dinners, dancing, video presentations. Because Human Light is designed to resist ritual or tradition, ceremonies and celebrations can vary from event to event and from year to year. So you see, the religious community does not own the rights to a holiday, quite the contrary. When we look back at pagan celebrations, we see that most were filled with superstitions and were centered around seasonal observations. We know that Christians and other religious groups interjected their particular superstitions into the pagan rituals, and they reinvented seasonal celebrations. We also know that celebrations are a natural product of human social needs. We are social animals, and the interaction with others is central to all of our actions in the world. However, the meanings attached to many of the celebrations have changed and mutated throughout human history as our knowledge of the natural world has expanded. So please visit the website I have listed on this slide for ideas about celebrating in a secular way. You will find a lot of seasonal information, monthly celebration ideas, and event suggestions. As proposed by Dr. Richard Dawkins, memes that attach meaning to a celebration can and will continue to evolve. And it is up to us to make sure the adaptations are meaningful, thoughtful, and honest reflections of our secular life stance. We need to reinvent the holiday season and incorporate our own secular ideals. A reinvention of holidays is particularly important when we consider our children and our grandchildren. The peer pressure that atheist children face, and I say atheist parents, atheist children of parents, oh no, children of atheist parents. I saw the look from Dawkins. Better get that right. They are made to feel like outsiders, and they realize that almost everyone around them attends church, goes to Sunday school, and celebrates some kind of religious observance or holiday. If we celebrate for rational reasons and tell our children the truth about holiday superstitions, we have not done any harm. There is nothing wrong with celebrations that exemplify what we appreciate and acknowledge. I also want to invite you to visit my Secular Celebrations website, where you can see some samples of secular wedding ceremonies, a secular naming ceremony, and secular funerals. I have a handout that you can take with you, so you don't have to take notes if you don't want to. I put all the websites down on my handout, so please see me afterwards to pick one up. But I want you to visit my website and feel free to borrow any information for your own website and secular celebration services. We need more secular celebrants, so I am very happy to share information. When I perform a marriage for secular couples, I make sure that the ceremonies are beautiful and that they are filled with reality-based words that highlight love, honesty, commitment, and sincerity. And as you can see by some of these photographs, you can combine ancient cultural traditions with modern humanist and secular words. And this approach is used often when a secular family is in need of honoring their family's heritage. Most wedding attendees comment about the beautiful sentiments that are expressed during a secular ceremony, and very few people ever notice that the ceremony was 100% free of any mention of God. In fact, I sometimes wear a robe when I perform these ceremonies, and afterwards people come up to me and say, "Oh, Judge Downey, that was beautiful." I kind of like that. I don't spend a lot of time setting them straight on that. There are massive selections of Freethought prose, poems, and music that can be used for your secular ceremonies. For inspiration, we often turn to well-known writers and poets, and I've listed a few. It's also on my handout. We all have the right components for secular celebration, so we should not be reluctant to utilize them in some meaningful way. When a child is born, secularists are not eager to sprinkle water on the baby's head, but we do want to welcome the baby into the family and to introduce him or her to our friends. And during the ceremony that I propose, the welcoming ceremony, we acknowledge the family heritage. We have guide parents, not godparents. We give mementos with the significance of their relationship to the child. And we also have, sometimes if it's a very religious family that I'm doing this for, it's the first secular welcoming ceremony. Sometimes I have a moment of silence for the ancestors, and that helps the religious community with some kind of nod. There's no prayer, but this time when we welcome a child or name a child is really a wonderful thing to celebrate. So I always say, just bring on the welcome to the world gifts and start the music and fill the air with song and laughter, because that's what you want your new arrival to see. When a life is ended, we know that it is a natural occurrence and it will happen to all of us. We can take that time to reflect on the life of the deceased. We can also celebrate the legacy of that person. And I'm often asked to deliver a secular message at a funeral, and I know that the need for secular celebrants to recognize life passages has grown tremendously. So now's the time for everyone to pick up the gauntlet and go forward. We know that there is a strong human need to celebrate or mourn with family and friends. As secularists, we need to embrace this understanding rather than reject it. Religion has successfully capitalized on this basic human need, so we should do the same. Secular celebrations can create social settings that induce positive effects in the philosophical needs of a non-religious person. When like-minded individuals are in contact with each other, they are able to fulfill these basic human needs. And a closer look at religious gatherings reveal how this is used as a basis for appeal. A welcoming attitude at non-religious ceremonies and events can create a feeling of acceptance in the secular community. So please think ahead of the various ways in which your group can make a point of acknowledging newcomers. And you can also have a follow-up system so that those who took the time to attend an event can be welcomed back personally by an outreach program. Religion can offer a feeling of order out of chaos with false hope and easy answers. The non-religious community can offer instead a peaceful resolution to difficult questions through friendship, understanding, and truthful communication. A secular event or holiday can bring the same hope to lonely people who have a desire to answer questions with rational thinking. And we need to provide an opportunity for this brainstorming process to occur. A celebration or holiday event inevitably builds stronger bonds with family and friends. The mere fact that people gather together in a positive way promotes these connections. Becoming a part of a group provides an opportunity to gain higher status in a community or an honor in a community. We should be looking for opportunities to honor someone's life work and accomplishments. And we should create a comfortable atmosphere with a holiday celebration that provides the perfect situation for acknowledgments. Everyone needs a place to formulate and act upon ideals, whether it be in a group setting or a simple discussion about current events with friends. You can actually formulate celebrations and holidays around a single issue or ideal. Some groups in the United States celebrate Charles Darwin Day, and this day promotes scientific research and honors the person who devoted so much of his life to the study of evolution. And this type of celebration draws like-minded individuals together and continues the advocation of their ideals. Maybe someday you might have a Hope Knudsen Day. Maybe the day of the civil ceremonies, While we're on the subject of connecting like-minded individuals, we should mention that many single people use the church, mosque, temple, or synagogue as a place to find romance and life partners. Non-religious holidays and celebrations can do the same. Many non-religious events may provide a place and an opportunity for people to eat together. And fulfillment of this basic human need for nourishment guarantees that a celebration or a holiday event will be well attended. Think of any opportunity to provide food and refreshments to community members. We have seen religious communities attract people to their venues by hosting potluck dinners, pancake breakfasts, spaghetti feast, and holiday feasts. And we can do the same, but we can do it for rational reasons. Celebrations and holidays can also include a chance to have physical or mental exercise. You might think about including games and dancing at holiday events. And the inclusion of such activities has made the celebration of human light a huge success. So please go to the website and take a look at some of the video footage there, and you can see what I mean. Special events can provide a place also for tranquility in an otherwise busy lifestyle. When our normal everyday activities are put on hold for a day or even just a few hours, we can become refreshed and renewed. Non-religious holidays and celebrations can echo what the religious community has done for centuries, minus the chanting and the praying and the traditional groupthink. Secular celebrations can and do provide a place of refuge that is based in reality. The traditional holidays that are already recognized can be used to develop our own memes that give meaning to joy in our lives. So how do we do this? Well, if you're interested in learning the best way to conduct a secular celebration and want to become certified, please visit the websites you see on the screen. And remember, I have a handout for you. For European training, I recommend the British Humanist Association's Officiants and Celebrants Training Program. For Americans in the audience, I recommend training through the Celebrant USA Foundation. Please, I beg you, please avoid online churches that offer a title such as Reverend, Minister, or Pastor to anyone who would be willing to pay $10 and spend 5 minutes online. And this apparently gives people the privilege to perform a legal ceremony. Instead, I'm asking for you to fight to have humanist secular ceremonies legally recognized. We should be increasing our numbers and increasing awareness of available secular ceremonies rather than driving up those bogus church numbers. The Humanist Society offers the title of Humanist Celebrant to qualified individuals. Well, each of those training programs is wonderful, but certification to perform legal marriages involves one of two requirements. Celebrant USA graduates associate themselves with the Universal Life Church, and this legalizes them as religious representatives in all of the United States. The British Humanist Association and the American Humanist Association are recognized by the government because they are listed and registered through legal channels as a religion. Now, you may be wondering what I have done in order to perform marriages. Well, it's a little complicated. I'll try to be very brief. Affiliation through the Universal Life Church was absolutely inappropriate for me. I am very uneasy about affiliations with any church, especially an online church. For some, humanism may truly be a religion, and I respect that declaration. I could not, however, agree with that statement, so I passed on that designation. Now, fortunately, I live in a state where a couple can obtain what is called a self-uniting marriage license. And that particular designation relieves the couple from using an officiant of the state or a religion in sanctifying their marriage. I step in to guarantee that the couple will receive a beautifully executed secular ceremony, and I also process the needed paperwork for that particular license, and I do that for the couple. But I have had my share of difficulties. Some state officials think that because self-uniting licenses was a direct result of a Quaker legal challenge, that only Quakers are eligible. So half of the atheist couples that have sought my services have actually been rejected from these uneducated clerks. And I've been forced to file several discrimination reports with the Pennsylvania Human Relations Commission. Each complaint was resolved without further legal action, but I may need to continue to file lawsuits that revolve around marriage license difficulties in other states. You see, just 20 minutes from my home, there are 3 neighboring states that do not issue self-uniting marriage licenses. Delaware, New Jersey, and Maryland laws reject any notion that a marriage can be solemnized by a representative of a non-religious community. Using me as an officiant guarantees the couple that a secular ceremony will be performed. Using a clerk, justice of the peace, or a judge does not necessarily mean that a secular ceremony will be performed. And many atheist couples have told me horror stories of what happens when their request for a secular marriage is misunderstood and maliciously ignored by state officials. They're in there, they're getting married, it's too late. They come home with a certificate of holy matrimony. So I am closely watching the legal pursuits of the Icelandic Ethical Humanist Association as they strive for recognition of their non-religious civil ceremonies, and I hope everyone here will please purchase a pin that this group is selling, and the profits from that pin sale are going to assist with their legal fund. Would you please put me down for 2 pins? I once attended a debate entitled, "Does God Exist?" As proof that God exists, the religionists showed slides of beautiful flowers, landscapes, a variety of gorgeous sunsets and sunrises, and of course, the faces of babies. It is an insult to all of us when religionists credit God for the beauty of nature. They hijack these natural phenomena as God's gift. They also claim that the beauty of nature is proof of God's existence. We must therefore object to God getting all of the credit for the beauty of nature. How better to acknowledge nature's beauty than through secular celebrations? We must celebrate our family, our human family, our friends, and accept the natural world with joyful hearts by celebrating human life, love, accomplishments, and friendship. There are some atheists who argue, why should we want to celebrate anything at all? What is so special about the changing of the seasons or the fact that we have family and friends? And my response to that is, humans are social animals. We need our communities. We need our friends and families and associates around us in order to live happy and fulfilled lives. Celebrations, holidays, and the recognition of life passages help us to maintain social bonds with each other. And we know that ancient human civilizations created and celebrated holidays. It appears to be a very deep-rooted need. Holidays and celebrations help humans connect with one another. Atheists can bring people together who are like-minded. We can be outspoken, proud, principled, and committed to meet the challenge. So as often as possible, you might consider talking about the way you celebrate holidays with others. Hey, the media loves to highlight alternative lifestyles, but they can only report on the things of which they've heard about. So you must tell them. You must tell them about your secular holiday celebrations. I recommend that press releases be used to inform the media and explain secular celebrations. You might also share a personal story with the media in order to generate interest, or do what Hopi did, writing a letter and inviting people to contact her. That was, ingenious, 18 years ago. Hopi did what I'm telling you to do today. So she's been a pioneer. So that will surely connect you with those who have not yet discovered that they are not alone in the rejection of religious traditions. The media attention will enable you to increase your group size, find more like-minded friends, or at the very least, foster and promote a better understanding of the non-religious community. There are many people who think about finding similar individuals, but they just don't know where to look. Advertising a special holiday event might appeal to people who are lonely and in need of connecting with others who think just like them. Some secularists are just not joiners. They may be, for the most part, content to pass on any type of celebration, but what about their everyday lives? And as I previously stated, revealing one's secular life stance is risky business. The fact is, however, that the future success of atheism and secularism depends on those who are brave enough to expose themselves to the prejudices that now prevail. Those of us who are non-religious understand that we have only one life to live and that there is no afterlife. So, well, actually, I do say that there is an afterlife. Our legacy is our afterlife. If you agree, then your goal here and now should be to leave a legacy worthy of emulation. Wouldn't you want your offspring to say that you lived as a proud and principled atheist? And how better to remember you than through the secular celebrations that you might help create? So with the little time I have left, I would like to hear from those of you who might want to share information about how you or your family celebrates life passages. One of the reasons I come to conferences is to gain a better understanding of people from around the world and how they celebrate different holidays and what they're doing in their lives to promote their life stance. I think together that we can continue our goal of better understanding between the religious and the non-religious, and we can do our part to promote positive atheism by enabling our secular communities to embrace all that is beautiful about living, loving, and celebrating. Tack.